I still remember the exact moment my world almost ended on what should have been the happiest day of my life. It was my birthday. I had just turned 28, serving proudly in the military, far from home, but surrounded by my chosen family, my unit. The base felt a little less lonely that morning because a package had arrived from my sister. Her name is Elena. We grew up together, shared secrets, laughed until we cried, or at least, I thought we did. She had always been the wild one, the free spirit, while I was the responsible older sister who joined the service to build a stable life. Still, blood is blood. When the mail clerk handed me that neatly wrapped box with her handwriting on the label, my heart swelled. Finally, I whispered to myself, she remembered. I carried it back to my quarters with a smile I couldn't hide. The box was beautiful, soft pink paper, a silver ribbon, and a small card that simply said, "Happy birthday, sis. Open it when you're alone." I placed it carefully on my desk and stared at it, already imagining what could be inside. Maybe the necklace I had admired last year, or those fancy skincare products she always raved about. Just as I reached for the ribbon, there was a sharp knock at my door. My commander, Captain Marcus Reyes, a man known for his calm strength and sharp instincts, stepped inside. He had come to wish me a quick happy birthday on behalf of the team. His eyes landed on the package instantly. The smile on his face faded. He took one step closer, then froze. "Don't touch it," he said, his voice low and steady. I laughed nervously. "Sir, it's just a gift from my sister. It's my birthday." He didn't smile back. Instead, he walked around the desk, studying the box without getting too close. "Step away from it. Now." My stomach dropped. Something in his tone told me this wasn't a joke. I backed up slowly, heart suddenly racing. "What's wrong? It's from Elena. She sent it all the way from home." Captain Reyes pointed at the shipping label without touching the box. "Look at the return address, carefully." I leaned in just enough to read it. The name was Elena's, but the address wasn't her apartment. It was an old storage unit on the outskirts of our hometown, a place she had no reason to use. And the postage? It had been sent through a private courier, not regular mail. Something felt deeply off. "But why would she do that?" I whispered, confusion mixing with the first traces of fear. My commander looked at me with eyes full of quiet concern. "Don't open it. Call it intuition, call it experience. I've seen packages like this before. We're not opening it here." He picked up his radio and made a call. Within minutes, the room filled with tension I could feel in my bones. That single warning changed everything. What I thought was love from my only sister turned out to be something much darker, and the truth that unfolded that day shattered my heart into pieces I didn't know could break. 30 minutes later, the explosive ordnance disposal team arrived. They cleared the area, treated the box like it could end lives, and carefully took it away for scanning. I stood outside in the cold air, arms wrapped around myself, replaying every conversation I'd had with Elena over the past year. We had grown distant after I got promoted. She said I had changed, that I thought I was better than her now. She accused me of abandoning the family when I chose this life. I had tried to explain that I was building something for both of us, that one day I could help her get on her feet too. But she only grew colder. Still, I never imagined she could hate me this much. 2 hours passed before my commander returned with the report. His face was grave. He sat me down gently and spoke words I will never forget. The package contained a sophisticated incendiary device, not enough to level the building, but more than enough to kill or severely injure whoever opened it in a small space. It was designed to trigger on opening. Your sister, she knew exactly what she was sending. My legs gave out. I collapsed into the chair, tears burning my eyes. Why? I'm her sister. I loved her. I protected her growing up. How could she? The betrayal hit me like a wave crashing over my chest. All those years of shared memories, birthday parties, late night talks, promises to always have each other's backs, felt like lies. She had smiled at me during our last video call, wishing me well, while secretly planning this. I learned later through the investigation that Elena had been spiraling. Jealousy had eaten her alive. She resented my stability, my career, even my relationships. She had fallen in with the wrong people and convinced herself that if she couldn't have a good life, neither should I. The storage unit address was a deliberate attempt to hide her tracks. She wanted it to look like a random accident. The pain was unbearable. I cried for days in private, questioning every choice I had ever made. Was I really so terrible that my own flesh and blood wanted me gone? Nights were the worst. I would wake up shaking, imagining what would have happened if I had ignored my commander's warning and opened that box alone. But slowly, something inside me began to shift. The woman who once trusted blindly started waking up. The sister who had always put family first realized that real love doesn't come wrapped in pretty paper and hidden threats. My commander and my unit became my real family. They checked on me constantly, reminded me of my strength, and stood by me when the military police began the formal investigation. I stopped crying eventually. The tears turned into a quiet, burning resolve. Elena had tried to destroy me on the one day meant for celebration. She had underestimated the woman I had become, the soldier who had faced harder battles than this.
The investigation moved fast once the evidence was clear. Fingerprints, digital trails, and even security footage from the courier pickup pointed straight to Elena. She had been so confident she would get away with it that she hadn't covered her tracks well enough. 2 weeks later, I sat in the visitation room of the detention center. Elena was brought in wearing handcuffs, her face pale and shocked to see me there. She tried to speak first. "It wasn't supposed to. I was angry. I didn't mean." I raised my hand gently, stopping her. My voice was calm, but it carried the weight of everything she had broken. "You sent death to my door on my birthday, Elena. You wanted me gone because I dared to build a life you were jealous of. But you forgot one thing. I'm not the scared little girl who used to protect you anymore. I'm a soldier, and soldiers don't break easily." She started crying, apologizing through sobs, saying she was lost and needed help. Part of me, the old me, wanted to reach out and comfort her, but that part had died the moment my commander said, "Don't touch it." Instead, I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "You tried to take my future. Now the justice system will decide yours. I hope one day you understand the pain you caused, but I won't be waiting for that day." I stood up and walked out without looking back. The case went to court. Elena was charged and convicted. The evidence was overwhelming, and the court showed no mercy for someone who attempted to harm a service member in such a calculated way. She received a long sentence, years behind bars to reflect the sister she tried to erase. As for me, I stood taller than ever. My unit threw me a real birthday celebration weeks later, simple, heartfelt, and safe. No suspicious packages, just people who genuinely cared. Captain Reyes even gave a short toast to the strongest woman I know, the one who listened when it mattered most. Today, when I look back, my heart no longer aches the same way. The betrayal taught me a painful but necessary lesson.
Family isn't always blood. Sometimes the people who share your last name can hurt you the deepest. And sometimes the greatest revenge isn't loud or cruel. It's simply refusing to let them break you. I chose to keep living fully. I chose to grow stronger, to protect others the way my commander protected me that day. Elena took my trust. She didn't get to take my peace. If you're watching this and carrying the weight of betrayal from someone you loved, hear me when I say this. Your pain is real, but so is your power to rise above it. Listen to that quiet voice of warning when it comes. Trust your instincts, and never forget, the best revenge is becoming the version of yourself they could never destroy. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear they're not alone. Drop a comment below. What would you have done in my place? Until next time, stay strong, stay safe, and protect your peace.